This is the Final Whistle podcast from the Wrexham AFC media team. Final score, Wrexham drawing 2-2 at Altrincham but losing 4-3 on penalties. And I guess the positive way of spinning it, now we look at the league. Wrexham started with 11 changes, giving a debut to Scott Butler. And there was a really slow start by Wrexham. The first 15 or so minutes, Wrexham really didn't get going at all. Were penned in, put under all sorts of pressure by an Altrincham side that certainly started very, very sharply. And it was surprising that Wrexham held out quite as long as they did before conceding that first goal, which was a sloppy affair. The ball hitting the bar and dropping loose, and then Baines heading the ball in from close range off the rebound to give them the lead. And like I said, Wrexham looked like they were going to take a battering for the first half of the first half, but came back ever so well to cause problems for Altrincham and got an equaliser in the 24th minute, a driven ball in by James Jones. And well, I think it's been credited to Bickerstaff, who lunged in. It may come off a defender, but I think Bickerstaff is going to take it to knock the ball home. And Wrexham really had been picking up the last couple of minutes before that and improved enormously, and 3 minutes later were ahead. Bickerstaff put clear after an error by Eddie Jones, running one-on-one with the goalie and finishing very calmly into the bottom right corner to give Wrexham the lead. And Wrexham after that looked pretty comfortable, made some decent opportunities, put pressure on well, and going into the last 10 minutes it looked like Wrexham were going to be okay. But to be fair to Altrincham, they penned Wrexham back. I've got to say, weren't making chances really, and I kind of thought that they were maybe going to pay for that. Wrexham seemed to have them at arm's length, even though we were struggling to get the ball out from the back. But Altrincham did get the breakthrough. 95 seconds short of full time, a messy scramble. Jennings, the ex-Wrexham player, driving it into the goal mouth. McAlinden scuffed a clearance at the far post, but only as far as Goodson, and he smashed a good first-time finish in, the first professional goal of his career. That took the game to penalties, and Wrexham started horribly. Jake Bickerstaff missed our first, and although Sam Dalby slotted home our second, Hall Johnson blazed our third over the bar. We were given some hope, and Lundstrom then followed Hall Johnson by doing the same, but although James Jones and Harry Lennon finished their penalties with coolness, Connor Jennings drilled in his, and Toby Malarkey stepped up to finish calmly and give Altrincham the 4-3 penalty win. So, shame for Wrexham. We're out of the FA Trophy. But if we get promoted, I just don't think we're going to care. With the final score of Altrincham 2, Wrexham 2. Altrincham win 4-3 on penalties. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always, to commentate to you guys. A real pleasure. Thank you so much for all your Ask Wrexham questions. I'll do the Ask Wrexham podcast to give you some more detailed answers and get to the ones I didn't get to. The highlights will be out as soon as possible, I believe. I don't think there's any embargo on that. And also the final whistle full detailed breakdown will be out on Saturday, as will all the other good stuff that we bring you. So, with the final score of, as I said, Altrincham 2, Wrexham 2, Altrincham winning 4-3 on penalties, I've been Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC. This is the Final Whistle podcast from the Wrexham AFC media team.